Hey, hey, hey! And here we come again. It's another beautiful Friday. If you are watching me live, it's another episode where we are taking mini trainings. We talk all about manifestation and how we can have the best life and live to the fullest. And hello, hello. How is everybody doing today? Friday day. I am on fire. My vibes are high, and this is exactly what I want for you to experience. And if this is the first time you are tuning in, hello again. My name is Irina Portnova, and I call myself Manifestation Star because I manifested great, amazing things in my life, and I can teach you how to do it consciously. Because again, a lot of times we feel that our life is just happening to us, but the more aware we become that this is not true, because we are also co-creating with the universe, and the more we realize that, the more we know that, hey, I can also participate, and whatever result you are right now experiencing in your life, it's the direct reflection of the energy that you were sending out. And what do we call the energy? Energy is everything. It's our thoughts, it's our words, it's our actions. That's exactly how we experience and the results in our life. And let's talk a little bit about today's topic, because every Friday I come up here online, and I don't know where you watch me. There is a YouTube channel, there is also the Facebook live, LinkedIn live, my Facebook business account. Whenever you are tuning in, just know that every episode has something for you valuable that you can try. It has the tools for you to experience and see how you can make your life much better, much more fun, so you can truly live with joy. And today we are going to talk about the silence first, action next. We keep talking about how a lot of times we are living in that noise, and the society is all about hustle. Let's run, let's do something. And it's more like a pushy energy. And I'm inviting you to just step back and relax, because our best decisions come not from the place when we are frantic and just doing. Our best decisions come when we are pausing and when we are relaxing. That's why I called today's episode Silence First, Action Act Next, meaning that sometimes all it takes is just to be present in the moment, because there are so many things that we are processing in our heads all the time. We gotta have a long to-do list, right? And we already had the conversation with that. We want to tune in to be list rather than who do I want to become, who do I want to show up like. The more we learn how to feel ourselves rather than all the time living in our thoughts and thinking logical mind, the more we start see how things are really are opening for us, and life becomes more easy, life becomes more effortless. And that's exactly what each one of us can experience. And let's talk a little bit about that silence first. So, what's important? What's important is to clear our head when everything feels noisy. And for me, as the business owner, my day starts very early because I also have to drop off my son at the bus station for the school. And I'm waking up at 6 in the morning, and then I have a lot of great agenda. I have the clients that I'm serving. I'm also attending the networking events. I am also having my coaches coaching me, right? Because again, the only way to grow is to be constantly growing with somebody who already at the place where you want to be. So my days are very full. And from time to time, I do have the naps because exactly that's where we receive our fuel back. That's where our energy is rejuvenating. So when we are just running around, sometimes it just we can't empty our fuel tank. And what is our fuel? It's our energy. And from time to time, I love to give myself naps. Even from 20 to 30 minutes can totally make a huge difference in my life. And this is something I invite you to do. Just pause. When you are working somewhere, right? You're going to say, Irina, I do not have that luxury because I'm not at home. Another great way, just even during the lunch break, close your eyes for 1 minute and just allow yourself to breathe. Focus on your breathing, right? Connect yourself, to your body, because with that mental chatter that we constantly have in our head, we are not giving ourselves the permission to just be, to just allow these clouds of thoughts just pass by and just stay in that stillness. If you want, you can take a couple of deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, because when we are focusing on our breathing, we are actually calming down our nervous system. And guess what? When we clear our head, we start making better decisions as opposed to if we were just frantically doing something. Another great thing is to hear our intuition requires some practice, right? Because a lot of times we are acting from fear. And now I invite you, let's learn how to actually tune into our intuition and act from that space. Remember, intuition is never frantic. Intuition is just very stable, very clear, very quiet, but very sudden. And our logical monkey mind is going to run on that fear. What if it's not going to work? What if I'm making the wrong step? What if it's never going to show up for me in my life, right? So, my invitation is start tuning into our body, because our body already has all the answers. We all have the answers already inside of us, but we got to learn how to actually hear these answers, right? The more we realize that our intuition actually works in the first 3 to 5 seconds. And after that, our logical mind shows up. Why is it important for us? Because let's say if we have to make the decision, okay, is this something that is going to benefit me, right? Let's say if we want to sign up for some kind of training, whether this is to improve ourselves, whether this is to have more success and money into our business. A lot of times we are making decisions from fear, because our intuition works in the first 3 to 5 seconds. If something already inside of us came like a spark, and then our logical mind is going to show up, and our logical mind is going to tell us all the different reasons why we cannot do it. Oh, look at you. Did you accomplish it last year? What makes you think that you can do it this year, right? And our logical mind is always going to bring us to our past experiences, but our past experiences are not the things that determine our future success. That's why it's so important to understand how everything is actually working, and also how it feels in our body when we are making the decision. If we feel that warmth, that calm feeling, we know that we are making the right decision. If we feel frantic and maybe some pit in our stomach, we know that this is not the decision for ourselves, right? This is not the right path to take. But again, the more we practice, the better we become. And the third, the most important thing is to take action that feels right instead of rush. So the more we tune in into ourselves, right? We know that Action can't be really forced because that action is coming from the clarity, not panic. And the more we tune into our body, the more we can feel what exactly it's showing up for us, the better choices we are making. So remember, silence is never the opposite of action. It's what makes our action more powerful, more intentional, and more in the sync with what we are going through. When we first pause, every choice that we are making becomes more clear. And when we act from that clarity, our results come much easier. And if you're ready to practice this in a fun way, I invite you to join me for that 5 days intuition versus fear quest. This is inside my Facebook group. This is a great space where you can actually practice and learn. Do you really hear yourself more from the fear, or you are connected to the intuition? Because remember, practice makes it better. The more we train ourselves, the more we train our brain muscle, the same way as we would train our body when we are going to the gym, right? The more we do that, the better we look, the better we feel. And same thing with the brain muscle. The more we train our brain muscle, the better we become, the more skillful we become, the more we connect to our intuition, and the more we start noticing something we haven't noticed before. Remember, it's never the lack of the resources in the universe, it's the lack of our awareness. Once we know something, we fine tune to that and we start having better results. All right, that's it for today, folks. It was great to see you on this episode. Comment below if something resonates with you and share with somebody who might find it useful. Remember, sharing is caring. Love you all and see you next week on another episode.